Welcome everyone to News Generation, the one and only TV program full of fresh news, here to keep you up on some continuous flow of newsfeed, debates, interviews, reports, and overall breaking news.
Without further ado, we're going to be talking about three main topics concerning technology that are going to be clearly explained and analyzed by our experts. Our aim is to share information that we've gathered to keep you up on pace on international news. Obviously, we're going out big with some special editions, and tonight we're going to be joined by a certain personality that is extraordinary. Indeed, within the subject we're going to evoke, some are incredible and some are fascinating. For instance, we're going to be talking about xenobots, but also the metaverse, and to finish off with a special edition dedicated to Tesla.
First up, in order to persist, life must reproduce. This brings us to the scientific innovation of AI-designed xenobots that reveal an entirely new form of biological self-replication promising for regenerative medicine. Now, we'll let our expert explain.
These are xenobots. They're the world's first living robots that can self-replicate. These synthetic life forms were first created in 2020 by using stem cells from frog embryos. They're capable of moving, working together in groups, and self-healing. Scientists say these computer-designed organisms can now reproduce in a way that is different than any animal or plant known to science. They reproduce by collecting loose stem cells and assembling baby xenobots inside their Pac-Man-shaped mouse. They're less than 1 millimeter wide, small enough to travel inside a human body. But why is this important? Well, scientists find this new research promising for regenerative medicine, which could be the solution to traumatic injuries, cancer, aging, and birth defects. And a near-term use could be collecting microplastics from waterways.
Now that we've processed the information and understood that xenobots represent the future of technology, let's talk about a new but yet interesting way of interacting.
You might think you've experienced virtual reality and you might have been pretty impressed. But over the next few years, in virtual reality as in all fields of technology, we are going to see things that make what is cutting edge today look like space invaders. This new technology touch and will impact on our work, education, and social lives. For training, it could be used to safely simulate any number of hazardous or stressful conditions and monitor the way we respond to them. For example, Walmart has used it to train retail staff to work in Black Friday situations, instructing them on how to best operate in beauty shop environments with long queues of customers. The pandemic has changed many things about the way we work, including the wholesale shift to home working for large numbers of employees. This will lead to the advent of what it calls the dematerialized office, where the office effectively vanishes from our lives as we're able to create entirely interactive and collaborative working environments wherever we are in the world.
Without further ado, we're going to be joined by Tesla's co-creator to ask him questions about Tesla's project as well as Tesla's upcoming projects. On behalf of News Generation, we are glad to host Logan Smith, aka Tesla's co-creator, who's going to answer a couple of questions that we've received from our audience. Now, first up, we'd like you to describe the project of Tesla in a few words.
Hello. First of all, thanks for inviting me on your TV show. The new project of Tesla, called Autopilot, aims at facilitating the user's life in the world. We started with the idea of a totally basic car, and we created a lot of technical tools which made this ambitious idea reality.
Next up, could you give us the aim behind this project?
In fact, with this project, Tesla wants to facilitate daily travel and reduce the permanent stress of the world. In addition, we want to regulate the sometimes tragic road accidents.
Now, can you describe the technical innovation behind this autonomous car?
Of course. Indeed, this new car is equipped with many technological innovations that it represents and highlights. For example, there is an ultrasonic camera to guide the car on the parking, and for example, a parking mode to help people to park in the city.
Could you explain how this project reflects a new development era?
From a social point of view, This autonomous car takes over of some citizens' responsibilities, and for me it's a good thing when you see the road today.
It is maybe the most simple question, but also the most important one. How much does this futuristic car cost?
As a matter of fact, people who want to take advantage of the autopilot must pay 25 grand in addition with the basic Tesla model car.
Even though this project may seem out of reach and ridiculous to expect, how do you think this autonomous car will affect our society?
This is a very good question that we ask ourselves during the creation of this project. Personally, I think that the project will affect society profoundly because auto-driving facilitates the life and change mentalities. Moreover, it will create a lot of jobs in the society, in the world, and advance the fight against global warming.
Nowadays, many people seem scared and afraid by the fact that cars may become self-driven. So, how would you respond to these people? And is this car really representing a threat for mankind?
I think it's just a wave of apprehension that will dissipate very quickly when the cars spread on the world markets. We have to understand that the programs are very secured and continuously reworked by engineers. There is no dangers.
To finish off, what sort of project or surprise will Tesla bring up in the future?
Effectively, Tesla have a new project that concerns a fully electric AV truck with an autonomy of 500 kilometers. For me, it could revolutionize the transport of goods in the world, like in Germany, where it already exists.
Now we'd like to thank the audience for their loyalty and appreciation of this news, reports, and special edition of News Generation.